Hello, and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to Skygate, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes place in the Dwarven Hold of Skygate and the terrifying Underdark beneath, which you have just recently scratched the very surface of for the first time. After following kind of strange causeway made by a recent Kruthic infestation in a mine, you found a crystalline cavern in which you fought a strange and alien creature, and met an angelic creature after the fight, showing up just in time to be of no help of all, tell you that they will deal with it and they're going to collapse the tunnel they came from, and then to fly off.
Is this a metaphor for religion, or...?
Look, man, that's up to you.
That's open to interpretation.
Open to interpretation. It's a metaphor for something. It's a metaphor for something.
Everything's a metaphor.
It's the violence inherent in the system.
Is that a metaphor for something?
Everything's a metaphor if you're a metaphor.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, you are all kind of scattered about in varying levels of beat-uppedness and nearly melted insideness, and you are in this crystalline cavern.
I actually got touched by an angel, so I'm doing pretty good.
I feel kind of tingly.
Show us on the doll where the angel touched you.
Like the shoulder, I think. She also just restored a ton of hit points.
And she is essentially like,
Gone.
my people need me, away! And Turnin is just flying back towards the cavern she came from. You can see that there is still this, like, the tendrils themselves kind of seem to evaporate into an almost mist or fluid as this thing came crashing into the ground. Of the
A
monsters.
mist or fluid.
A
Mr. Fluid. And nobody else batted out. I was like, am I crazy?
You know, a Mr. Fluid.
Oh, look, it's Mr. Fluid.
That's my backup character. The Epic Six
No
campaign.
one wants to hear about your Mr. Fluid.
Nobody wants to see Mr. Fluid.
Mr. Fluid.
And for, whenever you make your character for the B team in our next Metroville campaign, they'll be Mr. Fluid.
Mr. Fluid, yes.
That's perfect for the B team.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what are you guys doing? This thing is kind of crashed. This husk is still on the ground there. The tendrils themselves seem to be gone. The little, like, scattered about with the little, like,
Stabbers.
pincer pieces. And this angel's flying off into this other cavern.
Anything inside of the husk?
Walking up to the husk,
Stranded.
you can see it's really strange. What was like impenetrable black void has kind of sunk and turned into something between a fluid and a gas that's kind of lingering at the bottom of this. Instead of being like a kind of all-encompassing sphere of darkness centered on it, it seems to have died and turned into, like, I want to start flipping to the back of their character sheet, and turned into this kind of, looking at it, it kind of swirls and moves as if it's a gaseous, like, smoke, but you can definitely see it has like a slosh and fluid.
I have some empty vials for
That's-
exactly this type of thing, so I'll fill a couple of my
However
vials.
many you want to, I mean, I assume you don't, this thing could probably fill like 30 to 40 vials easily. There's a lot of it in here,
vials.
so as many as you'd like to
Vials
fill
are
up.
pretty cheap, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I could just replace these, so I'll fill all 6.
Okay, you can have, what would you, I mean, you can call it whatever you'd like. I feel like I can't really say much without giving anything
Could I
away.
make him like an Arcana check on it, or?
You had previously,
Oh, okay.
I think. You could go ahead and roll me another Arcana check.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what last time it was determined about
Haha,
it.
thanks to the power of memory.
Do I just write down Eldritch Liquid?
Let's see, a 19 plus 3 is 22.
22. This creature is certainly nothing. I think last time we kind of came to a similar conclusion that this is nothing
extra-planar.
you've ever heard of from this plane of existence,
'cause I was trying to
and
identify-
nothing you've ever heard of from a spell being able to create. Unless this is some sort of strange, like shadowy elemental creature. There are spells that can call forth elemental spirits.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Or like darkness, like
Or like
magical darkness.
an eldritch dark elemental of some sort, but you've never there's like shadow creatures that can be drawn and cast with magic. This does not directly relate to any of those you've ever heard of in your wizardly studies.
I will just label it extra-planar liquid.
Extra-planar liquid is, and you can tell
That is
like
also a great name for
as
it.
you're like, are you making great efforts to not have your fingers touch it, or do you care if you like? Are you just dunking your hand into it when you fill this
Yeah,
up?
probably.
It falls up. No, you
falls up.
It's like, hang on.
You dunk it underneath, and you come up with a bear like a cartoon little bone on the end of your forearm.
That's fine. That's fine. If this is a cartoon, I'll have that hand back next time.
Exactly. It's very strange. Like it moves and separates almost like a liquid, and it makes like a splashy noise. And as you pull it up, it is near the same weight. There's no real change of weight inside of it, and inside, like you can swirl it like a liquid, but on the top, it seems to apparate and twist like a mist or smoke. And it seems it doesn't want to like rise and float away, but you certainly feel like you should probably stop it, or it would
We'll stop it.
easily spill. Huh?
You could call it the sublime extra-planar liquid.
No.
It's sublimating.
It is sublimating.
So there's no like hoard of treasure inside this thing.
There's no. It is not.
Where's all the gold coins?
There's not. It wasn't just like a black piece of construction paper in front of a treasure chest.
Well, I'm out of here.
What's even the?
It hurt us for this?
Stabbers. Those things
Yeah,
seem
there are
very
3,
efficient.
and you can see that. Looking at it, like they look and feel like stone. They feel like stonework, but it's kind of like rough and gritty on the outside, like a gritty. It's like a almost like a magmatic kind of rock, like the magma of the rock that kind of forms around volcanoes and stuff, kind of igneous style. Igneous. However, like as it kind of twists and comes to this point, it is the point of it itself is a near surgical edge of sharpness. It's kind of it's like almost sandpapery and gritty around the outside, but it comes to this very, very fine, sharp point.
How big are they?
They would be
Like how big around, I guess.
the bigger round. They're conical, so like at their widest at the base, they're probably about yay big around, and they're probably about yay long.
Slap a handle on one of those, you got yourself some stabbers.
Or you make javelins out of it.
Definitely have a medieval torture instrument.
And I mean, as far as like affixing something inside, like making them a javelin would be very easy because they have a circular hole in the middle of them that seemed like that's what stuff was pumped through around them.
I'll mark them down.
It is something you think
Stabbers.
you could feed. I think making a dagger out of it, unless
Maybe get a little long.
it'd be a little. I don't know. Like you could kind of like use that as almost like a hilt or guard. The conical shape would be a little weird to like
You
stab
also just
precisely. with.
lose a lot of the utility of a dagger, which is a sharp edge.
Which is a sharp edge. It's just like it's like a needle point. It's like beveled practically at the end, like a needle, essentially.
Just keep
You think that it would make a much better javelin or spear than it would a dagger, but you could certainly try to do
See,
it.
what you do is you make your javelin handle also hollow, so that way when you stab them, all the blood just pours out of them.
I call this the tree tap javelin.
You just add a bag full of poison to the other end, so you stab with the javelin, it squeezes.
It's a spear with a
Yes.
bagpipe strapped to there
Oh my
filled
God.
with poison. You
Filled with
stab them and then
fire.
you pinch down and it...
Isn't that just an ivy?
Yeah,
Well, no, because it's huge.
because it's huge.
But you're not really like
It's an SUV.
agilely sticking it into their blood vessel. You're just sticking it inside of them somewhere and then pumping them full of
In their
blood.
general body cavity.
Yes.
Yeah, you see,
General body
you say
General
poison,
body
I say
cavity?
alchemist's fire.
Well,
Could you do the
better than
opposite?
using alchemist fire as a melee
Stick
weapon
it
than
in
any
there
other
and
way.
then.
Crazy man.
She's really not
What?
Smash
That's
it over his own
called
head.
life of
everybody else.
That ain't ocean.
Alright.
We could make some money.
So yeah, you have 6 vials of this strange
Extra-planar liquid.
extra-planar fluid. Are you taking any or 6? Leaving it at 6?
I don't have any vials.
Okay.
So.
So you got 6 vials of that. You've got the 3 conical
Stabbers.
beveled stone sieves, and this big ass husk is there too. If you're, I mean, it seems looking at it, it seems to be made essentially of the same type of stonework, but it doesn't have any like fine honed edges anywhere else. It's just a similarly conical shape, a little less finely like it's a little.
We also
more
can't
rough than
really
that.
do anything with it, it's kind of large.
It's kind of just like It's essentially like a big shell, like a big open-fronted shell.
I was just
Of
trying
rock.
to see if I had like the disc spell that like you can just like lift stuff up and that make it easy to like
Tensor's floating disc.
Thank you. I'm like, what's the spell? The thing that's like a dolly. It's like I'm forklift certified.
Eldritch forklift
Yeah.
certified.
Literally. That's now there is a whole nerdy like when you get into like high fantasy stuff, you're like how do you use like magic in everyday life to like make up for technological stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, you can cast like plant growth and it just like makes everything super efficient for farming and agriculture. You're like Tensor's floating disc being the equivalent of being forklift certified.
And then PETA just goes around awakening all the
Yeah.
cows with like butcher houses so that they have personalities when you're trying to kill them. and turn
So
them
that's where all the
backwards.
money goes that you donate.
Yeah.
1,000 gold per.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's expensive.
Well, what we did in a similar setting, you and I, was
Cheap.
we got sent to exterminate some like fire beetles that had slipped over from like the elemental fire plane.
Those guys were bastards.
They were, but we just caught one of them in a box and used him like a stove in our apartment because we would just feed him stuff to get him to
college
like
kids or something?
we'd feed him stuff to get him to burn hot.
Oh yeah, because I had
like a hot plane.
broom of flying that was like a busted old bicycle.
Yeah, it was your, like moped.
And I think we both rode it.
Yeah. That was a very fun little
That was a
campaign.
fun little-
Anyway, so you guys gathered this stuff. Where to next? What do you do next? As you guys are kind of gathering and stuff, you do hear like the sound of
knowing the
rock
Underdark, that's
crumbling away.
not going to last as long as that angel thinks it will. Especially with a bunch of minor dwarves up here, which
It's
is
also
why.
true. I'm gonna collapse it all. You know everything here has like a burrow speed, right? Like,
Everything that doesn't is a dwarf with a pickaxe.
To clarify, dwarves who mine, not dwarf children.
Yes.
well,
You haven't seen any child working dwarves, but it's also hard to know with dwarves because their age is weird and different than
it's the beards. It's the beards.
you can't convince me that. Well, if you go by like old Tolkien lore, right? Dwarves are just like carved out of stone.
the original ones, essentially.
True dwarves.
True dwarves.
True dwarf.
True dwarves.
I'm just saying that I might have to keep coming back down here just to make sure that whatever's down there actually gets solved, because I don't want these dwarven miners to keep going. Well, they've solved that problem.
I've never heard of a dwarf digging too greedily or too deep.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's gonna happen.
It'll be in our action.
I just think Candle wants to see the hot angel lady.
That's a benefit of the job.
Just perks the
That's what we got into the work for.
to meet hot angel ladies.
Now, just wait till he meets the hot devil lady who can also fly. Then he's gonna be real conflicted.
It's like I don't know which one to believe.
She'll touch your other shoulder. Hurt you instead of heal you.
Hurt me.
But you'll like it.
Then you'll realize you're a masochist.
Come
Yeah,
on,
the two shoulders.
All right.
Nimble strings.
So yeah, we'll remember to that'll be in our after action report to the dwarves. Be like, all right, there's something down there. Don't go past that, but let me check in on and make sure that it's collapsed because there's extra-planar entities having a scuff up down there.
A scuff up.
Yeah.
Man, they scuffed up.
Ruckus.
What do you think would happen if I drank some of that?
Don't.
You would die.
I mean, I've been wondering the same thing.
You'd be able to fly.
Are you sure?
That sounds targeted.
I'm just making a wild claim.
Don't worry, we'll find like a pig or
gotta
something
believe in fairies.
and test it out.
If you believe in fairies and drink that,
You will fly.
Well, we live in a fantasy setting.
Fairies
We
are
don't believe in fairies.
I've never seen one.
None of you.
Candle, don't
No,
forget.
okay.
Don't forget.
All right, well let's head out.
Let's just pay some poor
And-
kid to test.
It is like
Oh,
this
come
is
on.
like a cool ass
I'm not that
cavern
cool.
with like a bunch of crystals and
It
shit.
is like a. Do you think this is probably a very lucrative? Like it is entirely almost encrusted in either gemstone or crystalline structures. You think that there's like a decent amount of valuable gemstones as well as crystals, which have healing properties. Of course.
Divining properties.
On your way out,
Because this
just
is an
pick up,
actual magical world, not our.
On your way out, just pick up a ruby the size of a tangerine.
The size of a tangerine.
An emerald the size of a grapefruit. The sapphire.
We have
The
three
size
drugs.
of a tangelo.
We have three jokes. Same three jokes.
Same three jokes.
What is a tangelo?
Wouldn't you want to know?
Well, just how big are they, I guess?
Bigger than a tangerine, smaller than an orange.
I don't think Tangelos are tangible.
Angelo.
All right. I'm leaving.
Is anyone following him?
I am leaving with him.
There is nothing else of value in this cavern besides the cavern of itself. Everyone leave.
Level's over. Go home.
Encounter's over. Go back to your apartment.
It's like the exit level, but it's like no. It's like all right, fucking wander around, I guess. There's nothing here. It's like what if there's like a chest or something?
There's a pewter mug over on the counter that you haven't looted yet. Go for it.
The Eldritch Worthy just wakes up and goes, "Would you all stop bickering? I'm trying to die here."
So, you guys head back out. What is the, brief report that you're going to give to the village?
Moon's haunted.
What was it? Moon's haunted.
Moon's haunted.
I mean, do we just dance around the fact that there's
No.
a bunch of interplanar stuff
You
going
lay
on? Or do
we
you,
lay it to him straight on.
Okay.
Just be like,
Cavern's full of valuables. There's a tunnel that goes down that's been collapsed by an angel. That said that they're having an extra-planar incursion down there. So keep that in mind.
That was part of your problem.
Yeah,
This
that's
extra planar incursion.
that was that was the root of the problem. So
Problem.
The flop.
The root has been dealt with?
yeah.
Yeah.
As of right now,
the tunnel has been collapsed.
as of right
How
now,
effective
you
is
are
this?
And
safe.
there's nothing between the collapse and me that's going to turn me into a skin suit like that guy.
Right. As of right now, you are safe as
Like that, he's
far.
still like laying on the.
There's still a skin suit
Yeah.
playing over here.
really thought you would have buried that guy by now.
Or
something.
moved
We
it.
were down there for hours. As of right now, you are safe as far as the far side of that gemstone cavern.
Until
I think, sincerely hope by this point you've learned your lesson and maybe should consult an expert before going any further.
You guys know an expert?
I guess
I know somebody who can scout the Underdark and not just stumble in there.
and a bunch
Well-
of boyos to kill whatever he finds.
I think that seems like business is going to be good between us, and I know we talked about some contract work from your crow friend over here. I think that's potential for the future. For now, though, I think we got to clean up in there a little bit and get to mining some gemstones.
Don't mind the extra-planar husk.
Oh yeah, we couldn't like carry it out or nothing, but you might have someone take a look at it. Might be worth something.
Yeah.
We'll take a peek.
Oh, don't. Well, if somebody does drink the extra planar goo, let me know what happens. You'll see.
Why would we? Who would do this?
These two idiots have been discussing
Well, I'm just saying in the
Are you supposed
for
to drink
magical? Yeah, totally. It'll make
No.
you fly.
It came from the same monster that's killed your friend over there and turned into the meat suit.
Oh.
Do you think that would be okay to drink?
Is
I
that
wouldn't choose to drink it.
cannibalism?
There you go.
If that.
No.
If it ate a dwarf and you eat it.
No, it's called vengeance.
I hate bitches.
I do have one question about the vine thing that you guys burned.
Yeah.
Did you just set it on fire and did it burn itself all the way back? Or did you follow it and keep burning it?
My understanding is something in between the two. That the stuff lights up like. Christmas trees don't exist. It lights up fast and hot and burns like crazy.
Like a coal seam. There it goes.
Yeah, at some points, the stuff is a fuse practically. It burns hot and fast, but at some points it would kind of peter out, and then they light it again, and then
Good to know.
usually shoot off ahead of them a good ways.
Well, whatever that is still down there too, so that's
Right.
more reason not to go farther. Even.
Well, yeah, we had a couple of fellas, a couple screws loose like you after dealing with that problem.
You could
It's
bottle
okay,
that
it
shit.
passes. Yeah, it's true.
All we got was this fly juice.
It does make you fly?
Totally. Depends how much you're willing to pay for it.
I'm gonna make sure not to have any more of your cakes.
What time
I'll make
of
sure
day?
Tolzir knows
Yeah.
this is dealt with, and I'm sure some more final contract work will be sent over to your guys' HQ before too long.
Sounds good. Nice doing business.
And with all of you.
What time of day is it? Can we tell?
It's always dark. It's always dark.
Right.
It's you
It's
feel
underground
like
time.
it's probably
Would shops and stuff still be
afternoon
open?
by like your current sleep schedule, which is about the daytime sleep schedule. So most shops would be open still for a little bit of time.
Should we? Who do we want to talk to about the extra-planar liquid?
Rune hearts.
We do rune hearts. There are also the we could also try Troll Spits, the potion and herb shop. That'd be the other.
Oh,
place to
potion
check.
herb shop would be a good place too.
Which one do you want to start with?
Probably the rune hearts. I feel like this is more of an arcane thing than a potion thing. You know what I mean? Just because it's in vials doesn't make it a potion.
You put it in vials. It doesn't exist in vials in nature.
Yeah, potions don't exist in vials in nature. They don't grow on.
I don't know. I find them in cupboards and stuff, and I figure they just like pop there.
Now I want there to be like a healing potion tree. Grows the glass and everything.
That's
You guys kind of had one of those in the first D&D campaign I ran. That a magical peach tree.
Oh,
That
yeah.
grew
Grew healing
like
peaches.
Healing peaches, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't those also possibly they had like some negative downside? I thought, but
Well,
Just a
fairy
positive
fairy water has.
The water that was
yeah.
used to grow it
Right.
had potential benefits. We were hesitant to eat it because of what it came from, I believe. So you guys are going to the atrium? The Rune Heart's kind of magical
I think so.
storefront slash
everybody's favorite time,
Storehouse?
shopping time.
shopping time.
Time.
I was just looking for an NPC to ask some questions too.
Hello, NPC. What is your Arcana score?
If you guys go back there, you will see a kind of familiar, stern dwarven woman behind the counter who introduced herself last time as Drenna Greystomp. Not Drenna. No, that's not the right name. That's a Greystomp.
Hi, I'm Drenna Greystomp.
Margaret Runeheart. Excuse me, Margaret. The anvil is right above the atrium.
Ah.
It turns out in my notes. The anvil being the Greystomp's place they sell stuff. Margaret Runeheart.
Margaret Grunhardt. Okay. Excuse me, Miss Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
Have some weirdo extra-planar entity goo that we want you to evaluate for us.
The way you phrase that.
I can explain further. I know it's a lot to take in.
What exactly are you hoping to achieve with this?
Just if it has any magical properties that might be useful.
I mean, we do identification and magical detection services here. There is cost associated with that. With a potentially mystical liquid, there will probably need to be further experimentation done in order to understand exactly what it does.
You think 3?
Yeah.
I suppose I could always pick up more vials and just go back down there.
This is a waste of time.
What?
You should just drink it.
It'll make you fly.
We're hearing it makes you fly.
We're not.
People are saying that it makes you fly.
It makes you fly the highest. It's the highest anybody's
We're
ever
just
done.
this is what you call magical thinking. We all say that it makes you fly. So eventually Erickson caves, and just because of them coming up with another effect, he's like, I don't know. They all think it makes him fly anyway. It might as well.
If you are willing,
I will at least pass over a vial to see if she seems interested in taking a look at all. Like,
if you extend the hand with the vial, she'll take it from you. Move it slightly away, unstopper it, kind of at an outward angle, so if it pops outward, it goes towards you, not at her, and then kind of swirls, looks, kind of raises an eyebrow to it, puts the stopper back on, swirls it around, again, kind of extending an arm as she does so. And you see her, like, she's clearly done everything with her right hand so far, and as she hands it off to her left before swirling it around away from herself, seemingly to be like, if this blows up, I don't want my non-dominant hand to be gone, before bringing it back and kind of putting it on its side and watching. And you can see she kind of, like, layers on its side, it almost, like, separates for a second to, like, a liquid and smoke, and then, like, re-apparates into itself. Just like, very strange. How much of it do you have?
6 vials?
If you give 2 vials to us, 25 gold pieces, I'm sure I could find somebody to spend a little time looking into it.
If it's worth
Might as
having
well.
around, then
Yeah.
we got a lot more where it came from. Possibly. Allegedly.
Come back with a bucket.
I will get it. They're like, holy shit, this stuff is like nuclear physics for magic. This is great. And we're like, here you go. Just like slap a bucket down of it.
A Home Depot bucket.
Be careful with that shit.
Oh my god. It's like uranium. That's the word I was looking for. It's like magical uranium. And they're
Metal
like,
mash.
holy shit. Okay, 25 gold. You want to split it half?
Sure. Which is what, 12 gold?
12 gold
points.
points.
I'll do the 13.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, she'll take 25 gold, the two of those, and she'll say, come back in a day or so. I'm sure we'll have figured something out.
We come out, there's just some mad-eyed, like, mage, like, where did you get this?
I need more. It made me fly.
That's the trade-off. It makes you fly, but it's super addictive.
If I know
We're
anything
basically
about
writing
anybody.
it for you.
We're just building this for Eric.
If I know anything about anybody, that's totally worth it.
It makes you think you're flying.
It's highly addictive.
Well,
We are
that's
gonna-
not magical at all.
We're gonna be rich. So let's maybe try troll spits next then.
Okay.
We could always drop a couple vials off with them as well.
Sure.
Just to see what they.
This is called peer review.
So you're gonna go to Troll Spits?
Yeah.
It's-
Have we been to troll spits?
You've never been there before.
No.
Going to Troll Spits. I mean, you've maybe been there once or twice before, but as a group, you've never gone there. Going to Troll Spits, you can see it's another one of those like old like stone shop fronts that's kind of been changed and updated into a probably surfacer store that you know it is a non-dwarf who runs this. The outside, you can see it's again almost like the dress shop, where it has almost like a storefront window sort of thing. You can see this person has kind of put effort into like putting lots of greenery and stuff along the outside to make it look a little more vibrant and alive. There's like a small garden there that probably takes some amount of alchemy just to get to grow down here, because it seems like pretty lush green non-fungal growth that is going along the outside. Entering in, you see a very beautiful but pretty rugged looking wood elf woman. She's kind of got shorter, curly, auburny brown hair, and she seems to be wearing kind of average like traveler's clothes with a big leather apron over the top of it, that has all sorts of little vials and tinctures and little slots all over it. She also wears like kind of bigger, not super thick, but big round glasses.
I was expecting goggles.
They're wide enough you think that they got some good
Safety
splash
glasses.
protection.
That's how you know you've got a good alchemist, is when they're wearing goggles.
Yeah.
But it seemed more to help with sight than just to protect the eyes.
Howdy.
And she'll kind of look at that. Greetings. How can I help you? What are you looking for?
Consultation, I suppose.
Evaluation on the magical substance that we're curious about.
I'm curious. She said, interesting substances, you say. That's my specialty. Now, let's see it.
All we really know about it is that it's extra-planar in origin.
Where'd you find this stuff?
An extra-planar entity. Which tried to kill us, but we'll get to that.
What witch tried to kill us, but we killed it.
But we killed it better.
Let me take a look. And you can see her a little less methodically and a little more excited
Brazenly.
and frantic and brazenly, like kind of get it, unstop her and kind of look and like.
Now, does she dip her finger in it?
Not immediately.
Okay.
Not immediately. But she kind of goes. And then she flies away. She takes it kind of like she's doing a lot of the same stirring it around, take it off. She's not very like away with it. She's like pulling it off and like.
Blueberries.
It's kind of got a sulfurous smell to it.
It did seem... The creature seemed faintly volcanic?
Yeah, definitely some volcanic stuff going on.
I can say with full certainty I have no idea what this is, but I could certainly spend some time with it and learn its properties.
We need to get some more vials.
We should
How much do you sell vials for? Do you sell like bulk vials?
I mean, I would absolutely sell you vials at insert cost of vials in the player's handbook.
They're a gold piece each.
They're a gold piece each. Ooh.
Yeah, but there's like a Costco for vials. Or
Well, they're made of glass.
I guess
this is a pseudo-medieval
maybe
society.
a dark Costco.
You
get it in bulk. Pay a
I would
little
like to
less.
buy exactly 21 vials, and for no reason.
Would you?
The Underdosco.
So maybe we'll just leave her with 2 vials as well.
Okay. She doesn't seem to be demanding anything from you. She's
Right.
like, if you'll leave it with her and let her mess with it, she'll figure out what it does.
We have piqued her curiosity.
The most powerful.
I'll give you an extra 50 to drink one.
I do kind of want to have some empty vials around for exactly this purpose in the future. So I don't know how many vials to buy and go fill, and how many to.
Well, we'll wait until there's an evaluation.
Yeah,
Hopefully it doesn't all this is the
Evaporate.
problem. Yeah, we're like, aha, it's actually magical uranium. This is great, and then we're like, it's all gone. God damn it. So yeah, we have to decide.
why don't we just get a jug?
Get a bigger jug.
Just get an alchemy jug. We can carry like
Just fill a barrel of
3,000
it.
gallons of that stuff.
We're just rolling this barrel in this.
Yeah,
through
the issue is we have to be able to carry it.
You know, honestly, but like a cask you could carry, like a small cask.
How about a couple like 2-gallon casks? I'll carry those back.
Yeah, that's actually a smart idea.
I could.
How much is a cask?
I don't know if it's in
Yeah,
here. but
player
I'll find out.
insert player handbook.
Well, of course I would sell you a cask for insert costume players handbook here.
It's always great. It's like potion vials, a gold
Barrels
piece.
are
Wine
cheaper.
bottles, a copper piece. You're like, wait a second.
There is almost certainly.
Why are
a thing here
you
about how
drinking
much
out of
a
that wine? Oh, no, it's healing
barrel
potion.
I think reduce to use recycled, brother.
Yeah, see, the problem is a barrel's 40 gallons. Like, barrels are 2 gold, but they're 40 gallons.
We're gonna need a forklift.
I'm not forklift certified.
I could. If we wait a day, I could prepare that stuff.
That would be so great. I think it might. Is Tensor Slamming Disc a ritual spell? I don't think it is.
I don't think it's a cleric spell either.
No, it's definitely not a cleric spell,
Oh, yeah,
unfortunately.
you're
It's
probably
definitely a
right.
wizard spell. Because it's definitely a spell a wizard would have. But
2, I mean,
that's like taking magic initiate, like you get forklift certified because you do Tensor Slamming
with
Disc.
like, with essentially like a rock litter, 2 of us could carry. 2 of us strength-built characters, which is half of our party, could carry a barrel of it.
Yeah.
Should we just get a
Well, because it
barrel?
doesn't have any
strength.
weight to it. So
Oh, that's a
just
good
the
point.
barrel.
You're right.
Yeah,
One of
it's
us
That's the
could
weight of a
carry it.
barrel, right?
I ain't
it's just the weight of a barrel.
Unless we put it on the barrel and the barrel starts floating to the side, it's actually slightly more.
Then Candle comes walking out of the mine with a barrel on a string.
Can we do that?
We'll find out. What are you guys trying to do?
Yeah, let's get a barrel. You're right. It doesn't have any weight to it. That's a great idea. Let's just get a barrel.
I'm a genius.
You guys can. It takes a little bit of time. You're moving around the city from like one place all the way to another, all the way to another. You can
And
certainly
we can
find
just
something else.
we can just store it at home until it turns out to be magical uranium and we all die of cancer, or
Die of fantasy cancer.
Us looking for a cancer
or if it turns out it's not worth anything, we could just pitch it into the abyss that's under our house.
Right.
Or if it is worth something, then
Well,
we've got the
is
barrel
directly
around.
under our.
Why-
Directly under you, after long enough falling, would be more of the city. So if it is uranium and you yeet it off your balcony, it will land on someone's house, probably.
Will they not know where it came from? Possibly a good horizontal distance away.
I mean,
Based on its weight and the
there's lots of other
catapult
stuff
that you
built into
cast.
the ceiling up here. It could be anybody's stalactite apartment that yeeted uranium off of their balcony.
Also, if it is totally worthless, we can find a dozen ways to dispose of it in the Underdark when we get there. So
By the time if you guys are doing this and then like immediately trying to go, are you trying to go back?
yeah, we should probably go do it.
I'm not gonna participate.
That's
I'm not. I'm going back. I'm going
This
home
is
to
definitely
rest.
a candle
It's getting
axle
to like
adventure.
late.
Yeah.
It's getting late by the time you're going to be getting back
We
to
are
the mine.
filled with the energy of
I'm
science.
I'm gonna go to the bronze shop
Okay.
Dump our toxic
and
waste.
do bar stuff.
It'll fill the
Bard stuff,
It'll
like
fill
try and
the
work at the
sea.
bar.
Yeah, yeah.
Industry.
We'll just dump all of our
Because I
toxic
could care
waste
less about
down the
cosmic
underground sea.
goo.
Yeah, that can never come back to bite. Yeah.
It was not gold. I am not participating.
Okay.
Fancy.
You go to perform, and Zeraxis, you're just going to go back home.
Yeah.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. The rest of you are going to go back. After, again, this is a
So
good
long.
part of it. You're like getting late into the night probably by the time you're back in there. Like arriving, you can see that the excavation seems to be in full flow already. Like they've got people setting stuff up. There seems to be already a train of
Sleep. You
people
mean
moving
second
back and
shift.
forth. Yeah. And they will, like, you have made your presence around here to be kind of acceptable and normal enough that they're like, oh yeah, you can come down. And it seems like, though, when you get there, you essentially see the, like, dwarf with a wide broom, like, sweeping the inside of this thing out. And it seems like it's not fully empty yet, but it seems like they're, like, cleaning and, like, trying to get this shit out of there.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Huh?
We want that.
Stop!
The goo?
Yes!
Maybe.
Why do you want the goo?
These people have no idea what stuff in the Underdark is.
Shut up and sweep it all back in.
It's
Yeah.
going up. Whoever would like to can certainly make a sleight of hand. It wouldn't be sleight of hand, just a dexterity check to try and get as much of this out. You can see they've kind of stomped around inside of this and messed it up quite a bit. It took long enough before you came back here that most of it's gone. But depending on how well you do at this dex check,
I
you
probably
might.
have the best.
It'll be
dex.
vials, not barrels,
Okay,
that you're
sure.
getting. But you could definitely get some. And you can see that there's
Okay.
already like the start of like frameworks going up the sides of the cavern walls, and they're already excavating.
Are they
out
rubbing their
ledges and
hands?
stuff.
There.
There's one at the bottom rubbing his hands and 6 on this, like hanging from different like harnesses and stuff on the scaffolding, already excavating out some of the rare
This is
gemstones.
this is just dex and not like acrobatics, right?
Nope, there's just a dex check.
Dick check.
21.
21. You'll be able to get another 4 vials worth.
Ah,
Damn.
They seem to.
pretty clean.
They were like in the final stages of cleaning this husk out, and you can see they already have like some harnessing stuff on it to like to haul this thing out of here. It seems like.
That's fair. Listen.
Well, they're being so terrifyingly efficient that now I need to go check the further tunnel just to make sure they actually listened.
Walking over to it, you can see there is a dwarf who seems a little less dirty than the other people here, who is like looking at it and seems to be like getting an idea of the cave, the like cavern system. It seems like you've got a not necessarily. He's not like an excavator, but he seems like some sort of maybe foreman or geological planner kind of position.
I would like to walk over and put, because we're the same height, because I'm a short kinku, I'd like to walk over, put an arm around his shoulder, and begin guiding him away from the thing, and be like, my advice, friend, from a Gloomstalker Ranger, is to leave this alone for now.
I was just.
Did your boss tell you anything about what we found down here?
I saw the dwarf skin out at the entrance. I heard that was killed though. Whatever did that.
Yes. But that is a very small piece of the extraplanar activity, shall we say, going on down here that should be sorting itself out, but for now, I'd leave this be.
All right.
It's basically like if there's
Where
a
I
big
hear
old
you
gas
guys are
leak.
business partners, and I just work here. Sure. All right.
I am
Don't
trying.
let them know.
I'm trying to keep more of you.
Just so
from
you know,
becoming
though,
like the skin
your
suits.
boss still has to pay me my wage. I still get.
Let them go. Who cares?
I don't.
Well, I get paid hourly to map these things out. All right.
I don't.
They're still paying. That's okay.
I
hear you.
don't give a shit whether you get paid to sit on your ass all day. That's fine by me. That's probably fine with you. I'm trying to prevent more of you from becoming skin suits.
I certainly don't want to be a skin suit.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
I'll take that up with his boss. Whoever I listen.
They can lodge a complaint later.
That's fair.
But- so you
They can take it up
you
my
have a total of 6 vials on you. 2 vials at each of these other places getting experimented on. But it takes a while to get down to this part of the cavern. Leaving
we're
again, like you're in the like, if I don't sleep soon, then it's morning. So I better get home in a hurry.
Yeah. That's
Lala, go ahead and give me a performance check and describe to me what kind of music. You go there and there's Beta is not there, but some of the other people are, and they will happily get you put up on one of the 3 corner stages of the bronze tap for a chunk of the evening. And you will make 25 gold pieces for your night of work, on top of potentially tips, depending on how well you play. So let's see it.
17 plus 4.
So 21. An additional, you play really well, but the crowd doesn't seem to be. This just doesn't seem to be a super bumpin' night. It'll be an additional 5, so a total of 30 gold pieces that you make.
Sounds good. I'm fine with that.
Respectable. That's a month's wages for some folks.
And you can tell, like, again, this bar is massive, and there's 3 stages, so keeping music playing constantly is important.
For sure.
I am using my accordion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rocking the accordion.
Everyone else arriving back as Rax is already deep asleep.
Yep.
You guys can ride back and have a night's rest.
Sleeping.
Long rest.
Long rest.
Long rest. Spend my camp supplies.
Yeah. Which in this case is going to be 40 carats.
You've got 40
Sausage I found in a bag in a basement.
20 bottles of wine.
You do not wake up the next
The
morning.
wine bottles are 4 camps.
Okay.
10.
It's the next morning.
It's the next one.
10 bottles
I'm
of
gonna go
wine
make some
means you don't
tea
need to
for
eat
my beautiful boy.
Yes. You got to keep it fresh and awake and alive.
Should we let Vickelroy know that we've maybe finally worked out something of a standing deal with the
Yeah.
with Rufus?
At least we made significant progress. Yep.
If you go into his office to talk to him about it, he says that the rough drafts of contracts showed up at the doorstep early this morning.
Nice.
You know, that these Ruby Fist people, it seems like once they make a decision, they go for it. They were
We've
they were
noticed.
kicking the door down practically. I was still asleep.
Fair enough.
Good work, everybody involved. If we can finalize this, this will be a very lucrative deal. I'm certain of it. For your guys' knowledge, you are 4 days away from the big fancy dinner. Currently, only some of you can get in. You do have to come up with what your plan is for other people to go if other people are going to go.
Right. So like Lala can go as an honored
She is an honored guest, and therefore she can bring a retainer, a servant, and an escort. You will be expected to act in a manner appropriate to each of those roles if you are in them. Meaning, if one of the three of you shows up as her servant, you will be like bossed around by people to do stuff potentially throughout the night. A retainer is seen as a second, a right hand, and will be treated also as a guest. And an escort will be treated as a guest, though not treated in like doting on and waiting on you sort of a way. Treated as in a you're here to keep this person safe. So we'll bring you food.
I think Xeraxis is gonna offer out his services as an escort to.
Oh, will he?
Yes, phrasing. Like offer.
I could have
like,
said bodyguard.
yeah,
I
yeah.
intentionally want you to go around and proposition people to be their escort.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just Xeraxis. Because we get. Do we get to choose who we get, or is it?
You guys don't get to choose it. I mean, you can try and do that for somebody else. What he told you is that essentially all of the Dwarven clan leaders are going, as well as a couple other of the elites of the city. And that's what they know so far.
And I need those positions filled.
Yeah. So 3 of us can go with Lava.
which leaves 2 of us.
Two of us to go either way. Well,
Who is good at communication with other people? Who has social skills?
No, not two of you.
Does our buddy the Crag Crown Prince have his slots filled?
So what he expressed to her too during that is that as a member of the royal family, he is not allotted those slots. He is seen as a resident of the place this is taking place at, and therefore everyone is that to him who is there. So he doesn't get to fill in those slots with them.
I have a +4 charisma. I'm just saying. So I got a massive charisma score.
What?
Why do you have such a high charisma score?
You have a +2.
You have a high wisdom score.
You have a high wisdom.
You also have a +2 to wisdom.
Wait, you don't have a +4 to anything. You liar.
You're the one who put the numbers on here.
Persuasion, you have a +4 because you're proficient.
You're the one who put the pluses on
That's
there.
your saving throw. This is your modifier. See where it says saving throw?
I have a +4 to charisma saves. Okay.
And persuasion, which is, unless he's going to lie or intimidate people, is probably what he'd be
Do you
rolling
want to try to
talk to people.
get yourself a date, or you're doing,
And you're proficient in deception too.
Yeah.
That's
or
for deception.
I'm definitely better at lying though.
who wants to go? Who wants to go? Lala.
Right now, Lala has 3 slots and 5 of you.
I want
Who's
to
going to
go.
get the
I know.
rose at the end of this dating show?
I'm great at noble parties.
That's
Noble
true.
parties?
This is true. He is technically.
You are my right hand man.
Yes.
Retainer is going to be you.
What are my duties?
As a retainer, you're
Retaining.
That's to retain.
You're my right hand man.
So you know that at this party,
You're the holding
by what your boyfriend said, the retainer is seen not to the same level, but is also a guest of the party, and will have no expectations on them to do anything other than converse and enjoy the party.
And someone who is in leadership position as yourself, I think that would be a perfect role.
Since we're kind of working on the contract stuff, because I assume once Vickelroy signs his copies and stuff, he'll just send those with a courier back to, like, the Ruby Fists.
Absolutely.
I might just have him put a note in there mentioning that, like, if Tolvir or anyone else from the Ruby Fist clan is going to that party and is in need of a escort,
Okay.
I'm happy to provide.
Smart.
And you want to go?
I don't want to be the servant.
He's like, I want to go.
Now that the
want
retainer position is gone, I don't want it anymore.
You can still be the escort.
I'm in the escort.
But also, someone else said they wanted to be the escort.
Wait,
I know giving his
roll
power to
off.
Lala would be amazing.
Roll off. Or give a
maybe.
convincing argument.
I just. Yeah.
I'm just saying, when it comes to protection, I have the better strength modifier to protect you, and I can.
same
I assume
You're already the retainer.
I
Take it
assume,
easy.
I assume Vickelroy has not been invited to this.
Vickelroy was not invited
Okay,
to this.
that's what
You
I
think you'd
figured.
have to be a much more esteemed merchant to go to a party like this.
That's what I figured.
You think it's very unlikely any merchants were invited to this party, and certainly not one like Vickelroy.
He is of a true
I am.
not good at parties.
I am respected man of the cloth. Or was.
I am.
No, but
Because when I think parties, I think respected men of the cloth.
But I'm a defector at the same time.
Hey, this is a
But you've also
pseudo-medieval
shamed me
society.
and my boyfriend for being in a relationship.
You are also. That is true.
I am also.
Why would you bring him? Like, he's been not nice
Why
character.
Listen,
This is a pseudo-medieval society.
is your decision.
Priests are gonna throw the best party.
That's true. They have a
Lala, this is your
Ever heard of
decision.
the dance
I'm
of
not
the
gonna
Jesuits?
get your way. I will figure my own way
That was
if you choose Dermir, but really consider your options
I'm
here.
considering Jeremy as my servant. Why are you gonna be so spoiled?
He's like, I'm
about
not
it?
into this.
I do not have adequate influence.
I thought you were a man of the cloth. You're supposed to be humble.
I am defective. I am a defective.
First you were a man of the cloth, but now you're a defective man.
Jeremy, you have persuaded me. You are my servant for the evening.
No, I'm not going.
Too bad.
Well, I mean, he cannot show up as your. You could ask someone else to be your servant. He doesn't have to be your servant. He can try and find another way to go.
Hang on.
Have you decided who's going to go as your escort?
I'm barely okay with it.
If
Well, I think you're gonna have.
Yeah, I'm gonna have.
Zaraxis is
if,
going
if,
to be your
Zaraxis
escort.
is the
Ruby,
escort,
if the Ruby
okay.
Fists are interested in having a bodyguard, I suppose I could be your servant. I think that could be weird.
Makes sense.
Candle, you can be my servant.
Candle in like a little tuxedo walking around.
That's why it could be fun.
That'd be very adorable.
Tuxedo and your fez hat.
Yeah, exactly.
For the sake of brevity, it will take some time for the back and forth. They essentially, what you get back from the Ruby Fists is that they do all that. Tolvir has already selected Liftrasa to go as her retainer.
Figured.
But they would have an open escort position for one of you.
It's all yours, bud. Oh, unless you really.
Unless you want to go be with True Dwarfs.
That's true. We could let the true dwarves all hang out
Good
together.
their swap as escort for the night.
I don't think they like him very much, though. I think they like you better.
I think he did.
I mean,
Didn't you
they
succeed a charisma check
Him and
with
Tolvir hit it off well
Yeah.
the dinner at the start because
right.
you guys both showed up on time, which was the only practical thing
that's
to do.
right.
That might be a good
that's
time.
true.
I think I get along better with Liftrasa, but he gets along better
Yes.
with
With the
Tolvir.
boss,
So
yeah. This
I
is gonna be
suppose.
more of a hoity-toity
Yeah, I
sort of
suppose I'll have to just wear a waiter's attire and my little
That's
fez
funnier
hat
anyway.
and
Huh, how am I gonna get it?
So, for the sake of this, retainer, Nismet, bronze tab. No, excuse me, that's bronze tabs. Ruby Fists. Retainer, Liftrasa, Ruby Fist, and escort is going to be Dermir.
Yes.
This is an Erickson campaign party, so we can only assume a hell portal's
Go-
gonna open
yeah, I was
up.
about to say, go
We're
over
gonna all be there.
Everybody,
You crash one party with a cyborg pirate that they already killed twice, and then have
Okay.
another person die by wyvern assassination
I
at a
was
different
about to
party.
say, what about the assassination?
And then
Okay, what about the
one
attempted
party where there was
assassination?
another assassination of a sphinx, and it was by some sort of nightmarish bullywog monk of 20th level or something.
Right, and now what about
you
the
wonder
attempted
why we
assassination?
don't
What about the
trust
attempted
this.
assassination on
That
the
one they didn't even succeed. So apparently,
I got closer to dying at that party than I did during
one
the
of my
fight
parties
we were
there's not going to be a
celebrating.
fight at, right? Right.
Now the were-rat incident was our fault.
That's right. You track that combat encounter down, tied it to the ground, and then it scratched your eyes out.
Right.
Anyway, so
That was also mostly a Tristan.
It was mostly
problem.
Tristan.
which is its
So-
own category.
Dermir has been selected as the escort for Tulvir Rubyfist. Currently, it is Theogar as the retainer, Zaraxis as the escort, and we're going to have Candle as the servant for Lala.
Yes.
All right.
Who else do we have that might be good?
Axel,
The
are you
bronze
gonna
taps.
smooth your way in somewhere?
We do have the bronze taps. We
Yeah.
do also have a standing contract with
Oh, right.
Redbeard, but I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
at least bodyguards they probably have covered. They are a Forge client after all.
I'll put out some feelers to those two and see if either of them have any open positions.
To the Flintbeards and who?
The bronze taps.
And the Bronze Taps.
Mm-hmm.
Reaching out to the Flintbeards is very easy, with like a back and forth with them. And he says that his bookkeeper has already been selected as his retainer, and he has already hired out for an escort. And so the only he's got a servant in mind he was going to bring, but if you'd rather show up as a servant, like just to be there, that the partnership is worth at least that much. You would be expected to be a servant, but he'd treat you nice.
Yeah.
Like, they're happy to have
I'm
you.
not gonna fucking make you lick my boots. We are business partners.
We're business partners. If you're just kind of wanting to be there, but he said that like, I will treat you as a business partner. Most people there won't treat you that way.
Right.
Reaching out to the bronze taps. Let's see here. She only has that so far. Beta will respond to the like missive sent out. Basically, the letter says, "Whichever of you would like to can come and ask in person if you'd like to be anything other than a servant."
Yes. All right. Time to. Well, let's see. Do you want to compete over this position? Like that way, you don't have to be the servant.
Well, I wasn't really gonna make you do servant stuff. I
I
was
think-
gonna order you around to do mischief.
Gandalf, go cause trouble.
Happily. Right.
I'm just,
boss.
Walks over. Walks to the
I'm just following orders.
Is making
Just doing my civic duty there.
just making like door knocking sounds throughout the party.
I think the butler attire and Fez combo is too good to pass up. So
yeah.
I think
Okay.
I'm kind of stuck where I am.
All right. Gotta put my convincing hat on.
Okay.
You gotta
I'll,
schmooze.
Please tell me she makes him dance for it.
Dance monkey.
Dance,
So,
monkey, dance.
Ryan's the bronze tap. It's a bustling bar. I assume that's where you're going to try and track
Yes.
her down. And it's a bustling bar. You don't see her immediately there anywhere. You do notice a familiar face behind the bar, and that is Nizmet Bronze Tap,
Yeah.
the one that you have a signed napkin of.
Right.
Is it?
Nizmet.
Is meant.
Nizzit.
There is a large kind of reddish and bluish dragon sitting in the corner. He seems to be somewhat ethereal and like omnipotent, yet not fully ignited in his spark for some reason.
Amazing.
Feels like he's reborn in some way, but like not a biblical sort.
You get the sense he's some sort of living guild pact of sorts.
Yes, yes, of course. And anyways,
Let's see.
and
I'll go and ask her
There was another
if her boss is around.
she asks about it, and she kind of like, she's like, "Ah, you're the one who wants to show up as the escort, huh?"
Well, I am quite good at escorting, so
We'll see. I'll let Beta know you're here.
thank you.
I wouldn't mind having you come along with us. He says as he
Oh, she likes you.
You're her adoring fan, which means she's your
That's true.
adoring fan.
I am the adoring fan.
You're probably the only person she's ever given a autograph to,
There you go.
or at least won a few. So
Yeah,
she likes you.
I have it framed on my desk.
Yeah. And after a little time, she'll walk back out and you see Beta. She'll be like, well. I was gonna say I wasn't expecting you to be the one that came back here wanting to go to a park.
I have to redeem myself for being boring, so I feel like I have
That
to.
you do.
So what, like a crazy hat, or
That's not how you be fun.
crazy hats are super fun.
They're a part of the
I don't know.
Right.
Have you ever listened or seen Jamiroquai?
I will minor illusion a very magically elaborate top hat
Okay.
and give it like a. And then it shoots sparks out the end of it, like as an afterthought.
Give me an Arcana. Give me an Arcana.
It's only an 8.
An 8. It's kind of she's like, you're trying too hard. Be fun, but like, don't try to be fun.
No, oh my social anxiety.
This is me attacking Natty G's social anxiety as the DM.
Oh god, it's all coming back.
Anxiety.
My introverted nature's killing me.
So now,
Well, hang on. I have another set of entertainment that might be interesting at kind of a stuffy party. Of course, I turn and like look at someone that's like someone like putting up a drink, and as they like go, you just hear a fart noise. So try to like
give me a second Arcana. Give me a second. Roll for fart.
roll for fart.
It's too bad you don't have invisible mage hand. You can't just like.
That's an 11.
11.
That's one time.
And you guys know, like, that was okay. And so I am like, you can come as my escort on 1 to 2 conditions.
No.
3 conditions.
Conditions. Condition number 1.
Never discuss what the
You gotta do what I say.
We'll just discuss the number.
Or whatever I say while we're there.
Oh shit.
Dangerous. What's the second one?
Second condition, you have to wear whatever I tell you to wear. There you go.
Yes.
I like this plan so much more.
You know what? I'm in. Let's do it.
You're in?
I'm in.
Then you're in. Across and shake hands.
Same goes for you boys.
I just went without saying.
Whatever it is I'm wearing, I'm still wearing my fez.
That's it?
That's okay.
You're in.
Zerax,
Adam and Eve thing.
you just, she says that, and Zerax gets that look of, oh shit, I didn't think this through.
What have I done?
That's
I
it.
think I got
That's
Because I'm with the most like-minded.
Benefits of true dwarfism.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
You're buying new clothes if I'm wearing.
He does have some very fancy
Other than my fancy
Not
mobile clothes.
you. You're my right hand.
I have gaudy fancy clothes.
I don't have any fancy clothes because
Yeah.
because
You have fancy clothes. You have gaudy fancy clothes. You two are fine. You wear your gaudy fancy clothes and your hat. You wear whatever you wear.
am I allowed to take my weapons with me? Or
I
am I
am
gonna be
going to
disarmed?
just-
You would know that escorts, from what you said, escorts are allowed to come armed in the terms of they're expected to wear like festive clothing to some level still. It can be practical. It could be ornate armor, but they are allowed to arrive with a singular weapon on their person.
Okay.
That they know.
Your fancy clothes.
My 6 daggers that I have from character creation.
And you know that, like, any of you who are locals or proficient in history can roll a history check for me really quickly.
I'm a local.
I'm not
I
proficient.
am not in proficient.
I got
I'm not
plus
proficient in
4
history, but I am a
to
local.
history.
Yes, but you
12, 10.
Oh, you are proficient. Yep.
Ah,
That little strip mark.
never mind.
6er.
The highest was 12, kind of 10 to 12 range. 10s and 12, 10, 11, 12, kind of that range. You would know that, historically speaking, dwarf parties were basically all the clan leaders coming together and getting drunk. but it almost always historically ended in one clan leader who had a beef with another clan leader trying to beat the shit out of him and use this as an opportunity to do so. So it's like a historical standing thing that you always bring one armed person with you to a dwarf party so that the clan leaders that don't like you don't try and fuck you up while you're there.
Fair.
This is like, it's not so much a modern thing that happens, it's more of like, this is a historic thing that has led to this being the norm at these kinds of parties.
Fair.
Okay.
You got fancy armor.
It's like, I'm not saying there's gonna be
My
a
armor
fight,
is not
but
fancy.
it's
in this
probably gonna be a
slightest.
fight.
Historically speaking.
I'm not saying the bar gets
Historically speaking,
shut
hell
down every
portals
day.
open up at these parties all the time.
I went to a fist fight and a dwarven party broke.
All right, we're doing a fashion show. You two need to show me your outfits, and
I've
then
already
I'm.
seen it from whatever other thing
Yeah.
we went to.
Oh, never mind.
You've seen his
Fancy
fancy
dinner.
armor. He's got, you know his tailor.
Oh.
They did a good
We
job.
have the same tailor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We do.
Hopefully the tailor can work around my arm.
All right,
Xerax.
I'm gonna use my hard-earned money to get you nice clothes.
Son of a bitch. I just shake my head like,
At
all
least for the
right.
moment, I'm planning on concealing a couple of daggers just in case.
Okay.
There will probably be, because I know at least in like actual medieval society, everybody carried a knife.
You need to cut your
Period. Literally everybody carried a knife. Like eating sets, like eating knives and stuff were very popular. Like, would something like that be confiscated? Like
You think because
what's going to
specifically
count as a weapon
you are
here?
arriving as a servant, having a knife on your hip would be seen as unnecessary, and it would probably ask you to remove it. That any knives needed for serving the master you came with, all utensils and stuff would be provided for you. So you think for you to bring anything like that, you'd have to sneak it in.
knife.
Well, see, my alarm thrower is just part of my noble uniform.
Candle, do you want me to keep
You can certainly try that.
body and
Who
give it
knows?
to you?
Might go great. They might be like, you can put it down.
Well, they hold on
Coat
to it
check.
for
I
me
might-
at the very least.
Who knows?
I might have either you or
Then I'll put it on my
Xeraxis, since
thigh.
he's
No one will check my dress.
Yeah, I'm an escort.
Look,
I don't
all
need
of
a
you
weapon.
are welcome to try
That's
this
me
multiple
just
weapons.
saying
we'll bring two if you can.
And by
because I have two
and
weapon
then
fight.
getting
Hey,
so
the two
good
escorts
job.
don't
If you're
need,
gonna
or
do
the
it,
two
do a good
don't
job.
need the
carry
high
you.
I
weapons.
put it in my dragon
Because we're
panties.
awesome.
You put it in your dragon titties.
No, my dragon panties.
Panties, oh.
Is that a dagger in your pocket, or you just happen to see it?
It is a dagger.
It is a dagger. I could care less.
I will stab you in the back with it the first chance I can.
Do you want a fancy bow tie? I can buy you a fancy bow tie. You want a fancy bow tie?
I think.
Why are you talking to him like a dog? You show me what
he is.
Go with your face.
He's a little bird that is gonna be my servant.
I mean, I think
Would you
I want.
like
I
a
think I want.
fancy
I think
You've given her far too much power.
I've given her exactly
I would like to wear a extravagantly gaudy doublet
Okay.
and shirt with my fez and a little shoulder cape.
Alright.
There you go.
Because I like how the little short shoulder capes.
I mean, am I to assume we're going? Am I to assume we're going to your
Yes,
goddamn
we are
elf tailor?
going.
Wait.
around the
Aron Thalor.
Wrong.
I almost said Theron Alor. Well, Aron Thalor is the business. Shoshis, I believe, is the owner. Shoshis Ethanora, is that right?
That sounds right, but I don't know.
I
don't
Right now,
remember.
we have Elven Fancy Clothes Shop written down.
1 moment.
You should write that down on your notes so you know who she is.
Yes, because I am.
You've been back here.
You
3
are her
times.
best customer.
Yeah, I am.
Shopkeeps, locations, down here. Well, of course, there is. Well, that would be technically it's in the equipment section. Aron Thalor, run by a Shoshis Ethanora.
One of these days we'll be allowed in the Anarch.
But for now, I'm gonna make you do business negotiations and fancy parties.
It's its own kind of fun.
It's its own kind of fun.
I want to go sleep on the ground and risk my life every day.
Arriving outside of Aron Thalor,
Risk
it
my
is
brain
much
box.
the way as it always is. And entering in, you have much the same experience you typically do, as the back of a Shoshis Ethanora is to you, and as you hit the little bring bring bell, they do a big wide sweeping bow with a flourish and say, "Welcome to Aron Thalor." Ah, are you needing some more garments, perhaps?
Do I need
Or
another?
something for your brooding friend in the back.
We do need something for him. He is going to be my escort for the party coming up.
Stop crinkling your forehead so much. That's how you get wrinkles.
Wrinkles are the least of my worries.
Don't listen to him.
You're needing something for him?
Yes.
Well, come along.
I hesitantly, but I follow. I have no choice.
Illusion, the sound of a bell.
Just to watch them spin.
They stop and do another twirl.
I'm not there. I'm just being an asshole.
And they'll kind of bring you to a mirrored corner section that has like a little podium stand on it and be like, please, Mr. Zeraxis, yes, stand here for me.
I'll swing off my greatsword, put it down, and just like...
I'm not against that.
I just put it down like I don't...
Up here.
Alright, fine.
And you can see, like, clearly this is somewhere someone's supposed to, like, bust out a tape measure and start measuring you. But they just kind of, like, wander around you, like... Something practical or extravagant?
A little bit of both.
Well, of course. I do have something striking, to say the least. One moment, please.
He does hit people with a big old sword, so striking is quite. It's like.
And Ashash just runs back. I have to go to my big and tall section.
This is going to be a straight up set of like MMO like bikini.
Oh, it is now.
And coming back, Ashash is like, you can see something that is a fairly bright yellowish color over her arm as she comes coming back and like, this is something I think you'll love in particular. It in fact comes from Grandelio Natrovix itself. It's got a hole in the back to accommodate a tail, but that could easily be modified out. And as she lays it out, it is a extravagant golden bright yellow with red fringed like kind of large elaborate sweeping layered robe. I mean, it seems to be something. It's got a kind of practical like doublet sort of base piece with some nice trousers, but it has this long kind of cape apparatus that goes down and along its shoulders. It's almost in like tiers, almost like an armadillo shell. It's got like a bit of like structure to it, though it still seems to be made out of cloth. That is like layers of like golden yellow with this kind of sharp red edging on it going all the way down.
Perfect
So
for
it's certainly something striking, and yellow and blue goes together beautifully.
If you say so. Draxus knows nothing about like.
Try it on!
He's colorblind.
Yeah.
He's a monochrome.
I have no choice, so
You start getting it on, and you get sore. It is a bit stuffy. It is gaudy and extravagant, but striking.
It's like, what in the hell?
I'll take it.
Hells, technically.
Yeah, hells.
It would be foolish not to. Look at him in it. It's like you were born for this piece. And Ringresh said it is an elaborate piece, but a fairly simple one nevertheless. It'll run you 20 gold pieces.
Perfect.
And you can, if you'd like to add to your inventory gaudy, fancy clothes, you're welcome to do so.
I'm about to do that, yeah.
fantastic.
Alrighty, you've done your job. You can
For
go home.
you,
Jocelyn's
mechanically, this will function as padded armor.
Oh.
Okay.
So you do have like an 11 plus.
11 plus Dex AC.
yeah,
It's not much.
Yeah.
My, I am losing. I'm technically losing 3 points of dex unless I can get a melee weapon in either hand during this, in which case I'll only be missing 2 points of dex.
I mean,
2 points of
A
dex.
fork and a spoon could technically be considered 2 melee weapons.
So it's 11 plus.
I've got
Your
2 melee
dexterity
weapons for you right here.
If you have one.
So I have 14. That puts. So that's only 3 below, and I actually.
It's not a terrible.
It's not like a terrible.
Hopefully your armor class will not be relevant, but who knows?
I mean, that's why I have armor of
As a
Agnes.
walking stick, would you? Like trying to smuggle my staff in.
It's just a mace.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
will be when
part
I
an
help
old
her
man
with
from his
the
plate armor and claim more.
That conversation absolutely is happening with security when we walk up.
It's the other variant of that joke we've been doing is in our Epic 6 campaign. The one who uses a staff is Jerry's
Dwarf cleric.
This is like, you wouldn't deprive a young jacked dwarf from his
Walking stick, would you? Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Speaking stick. But yeah, so it seems like everyone has. What are you going to be wearing to this event?
The most dwarf clothing.
You have your old vestments that are kind of your more religious clothing.
No.
You have practical clothing. I don't think you have fine dwarven clothing. You could, at the cost of normal dress clothes, which I think is 15 gold pieces, you could get a very traditional set of dwarven dress clothes.
Hey.
Did you already do that for the dinner party?
I have.
Do you have dress clothes written down anywhere, or fine clothes?
Yeah, I think I do.
I think you did that
I think
for
I
the
did
dinner.
do that. Yeah.
So yeah, you could use those easily enough. I
Yes,
think everyone else
fine
has
clothes.
their clothing of choice.
Not me.
I'm going to buy another dress.
You don't. You're gonna buy a new one while you're there.
Yeah.
For the new party.
Uh,
You can't re-wear your dress.
You can't wear a dress more than once, especially an expensive one.
Especially to a fancy party.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something to stand out for the crowd, but something elegant and beautiful.
Okay. Ashashas will, if you say the words elegant and beautiful, will always point you towards high elven tailoring and high elven cloth work, and has a fine, very almost ethereal and what's the term? Like a silky kind of flowing gown of elven design that is in kind of like a teal and green peacocking style of colors. That's layery and flowy.
Like the shoes Erickson wore to his wedding.
It's essentially the shoes I wore on my wedding dress.
Insert picture there.
You can do that, folks. Well, that was more. Those were more maroon. They were very peacocky.
I
though.
do not have a picture.
But it is this very flowing, elegant thing.
Probably,
very
if I look.
tight hugging, but flowing along the bottom.
I'll take it.
All right. That one will also be 20 gold.
Sounds
go well with your jewelry.
Yes.
It will.
Perfect.
I was gonna say,
if it's in the
if he's
shoes,
wearing
then
gold
no
that has blue
scaffolding
skin, and then you
sign
wore
would
like a
have
blue
No
dress with your
scaffolding.
gold skin, and then you
No scaffolding.
You're just on a wooden
You know all the peach stands that have popped up around here.
Do you remember?
I'm just picturing the monks from Monty Python. They're like whack, whack, whack. Yeah.
Do you remember the first dress I bought? Do you the color?
What it looked like? I'd have to go back. I've had to come up with so many fancy sets of clothes. I can't tell you what it was.
One of the
Okay,
signs
fair
that
I'm pretty sure it was
say pashes because they left the E out of it.
Alright, I put
It
this
was like
one
a
as
midnight
teal.
batch.
Was it the kind of
pashes.
No, the second one's a kind of power suit. The first one was kind of the one with the very spiky, sweepy shoulder things. Anyway, everyone has their fine clothing. Everyone has their way of going to the party. After multiple days of tracking down clothes and back and forths, the party's going to be about 2 days out. That would take up a couple of days to do all this stuff. So we're probably kind of winding down near the close of the clothes of this episode. We're a little over time anyway, but it doesn't really matter. Is there anything else you guys want to do before the party? Because I think the next episode will be the start of the
When we should check in on our bombs.
Yes, you could definitely check in with your...
Yeah. And when do we get paid again?
You're nearing that. It's on a... you're on a normal 2-week...
2 weeks.
by every 2-week pay schedule.
Bi-weekly. Which is the most annoying way to get paid. I have grievances with capitalism.
Don't we all?
Let's check in on our extra-planar goo.
I get paid bi-weekly, but I've never had a problem with it.
It's just more... later, we'll get into it.
Wait until you only get paid once a
This
month.
is a whole
That's
other
kind of-
video.
I know.
This is another channel. We're gonna do this.
This channel's for fun, not politics.
It's not even politics, it's just grievance.
Just grievances. So, where are you going first? Rune Hearts or...
Well, we started with
Troll's
Rune Hearts. We
Guards?
should start
Yeah.
with Rune Hearts.
Going back to Rune Hearts, they will essentially lay out that their testing has revealed...
It makes you fly.
both fire-related and levitation-related properties to this strange thing. They think that it would take that it's less of a magical and more of an alchemical substance. They have some alchemists here, but it requires a refinement process, and they think that either aspect of it could be refined to be the forefront of it when mixed with other ingredients.
And then
However,
mix both of them together and become a motherfucking drag.
Deciphering this, they essentially used up all of what you gave them in their testing.
Thanks.
And they think that they have some people who could potentially bring forth those aspects, though they're more arcane than alchemical
Is
practitioners.
it any easier than making a normal potion of flying?
You don't.
It'd be like a potion of levitation. It wouldn't be a potion of flying.
The thing that they're like, it's hard to separate both aspects regardless, but both aspects is kind of which one you accentuate with other ingredients, they think.
There's going to be an oddly specific situation over the course of this campaign where potions that make you levitate and give you fire resistance is somehow just the thing
The
you
thing
really
we need.
Is this going to end up being a potion that reverses gravity for you and sets you on fire?
That would be a kick-ass poison.
I was about to
though.
say, you know what
like
that
you
is?
drink
That's
it and
a
all of a sudden
poison.
they burst into flames and like stick
Fall
to the
to the
ceiling and it's like, dear God.
It would be
It's,
quite-
it's not subtle, but it is.
Good luck
effective.
stop, dropping, and rolling up there.
Sometimes you want everybody in the room to know that person's voice.
If you go to Troll Spits, which you know her name, I think is a weird thing, but Malkis will tell you that she is very interested in this stuff, thinks it's awesome, has found similarly that it has multiple different properties you can try and bring to the forefront. She says, naturally, and the easiest thing to turn it into are essentially potions that will cast levitate on yourself and give you fire immunity. But you will not necessarily be in full control of that levitation spell. You can essentially make yourself immune to fire and slowly fly into the air. The other aspect would be to accentuate its more flammable properties, and it will essentially make a supercharged version of an alchemist's fire, depending on what you mix it with. She says she has the ingredients to do either of those things, but they are not the cheapest ingredients.
If while you're levitating, if you got like a couple of big paper fans, wave them really fast.
Like
Steer
it's
yourself
close
around
enough
a
to
little bit.
fly, right?
She also had to use both of her vials to discover.
Right.
Do we have, 2 left?
No, we have 6.
Total 6.
Oh, we have 6.
Yeah, because they went back and got more, or at least.
Don't you have a
We're
barrel
gonna
of
start
this?
cutting down more of these
No,
things.
they only ran.
No, we didn't get there fast enough. I wouldn't mind a mix, but I feel like the fire immunity and levitation ones are best if we have one for everybody,
Yeah,
which would take every dose. But the supercharged alchemist's fire
it's just so cool.
could also be useful.
So the supercharged alchemist fire is less the natural state that this thing wants to do. However, the ingredients to do it are cheaper.
Yeah.
The ingredients to make the prior of the two is a bit more expensive stuff to kind of isolate those active parts of this strange gaseous liquid.
Well, you can think about which one we want to do. We're going to be back.
We'll be back. It was very interesting. Once again, there's going to be a very specific situation that we're just like, you know, it would be perfect here.
She will say, if you give me 2 of the 6 vials of this stuff in payment, I will make any combination out of the other 4 you want free of charge.
Now that is that's a hot deal. That's a fire immunity floating deal right there.
So the chick can make you 4 of 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 1, whatever you'd want to do. If she gets to keep 2 of these because they're the ingredient that's the true rarity amongst these things. even if those are expensive.
Drink potion of levitate and immunity to fire. Smash supercharged alchemist's fire vial over there. Hold on to enemy. Fly away.
Just float slowly upwards. They did make a good combo.
You flow into the air and then you clap the other one over your head and you're this burning pan who
This
flies
supercharged
around.
alchemist's fire is just like Crazy Ben's secret sauce.
Alright, well, that's good.
Cool.
We can come back for that when it becomes more relevant and we want to make a decision. But since it's a limited resource for now, we can figure it out.
Okay.
We'll totally be taking her up on that offer.
Yeah. We'll just need to kill another one of these things and then I can put all of its guts in a barrel.
Several barrels.
Erickson, I can like see the wheels in Erickson's head where he's like, how useful do I want to make this? I need to stop them from getting too much of this.
I'm glad you guys didn't extract more of it before you came back. And they had already scrubbed the tank.
We're literally going to be extra-planar whalers. And just start hunting these things to fill barrels with a valuable resource from inside.
Did we just make a new business?
Forget Vickelroy. Wait, I'm the middleman.
We're freaking planar whalers.
Whalers of the plains.
We have the harpoons. We have
You can turn its things into harpoons.
We've talked about a dwarven mining company that hunts gemstone dragons.
Yeah.
Um,
Rad.
Rad.
I like the idea of a whaling, of like a like Spelljammer whaling company that just hunts those like treasure creature things that drift through the astral plane.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. Those like octopuses that just carry around treasure chests through the astral plane. They're weird. With that though, you now know what you can use these for and where you can get it done for a cost, but not a financial one. And you have a party to attend.
All right.
I think next time you can have like one more day to briefly do something else if you want, but it'll be onward to the festivities.
Tune into the next episode
Excited
where
to
somebody
see what
dies at a
outfit
party.
you're going to be wearing.
There's not always combat at my parties, but there could be combat at this one. Who knows? We'll find out next time on Skygate. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next one.